is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a Hallyujuku Talks episode featuring myself, King Kaz, and the great PD Rave. So every once in a while, we kind of get a thing where we want to sit and talk about kind of something more in depth, rather than our round table kind of overall discussion of something. So usually during Hallyujuku Talks, it's either a specific music album or a TV show or something like that that catches our attention, and we want to talk about it a little more in depthly. So a couple months ago at this point, Big Bang released a variety show on YouTube, on YouTube Red. So if you're a YouTube Red subscriber, you can go and check it out. And I say you should. It's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of Big Bang. And we've been wanting to kind of get back into doing talks and talking about things a little bit more in depth. So we figured, hey, this is a great way to do that, right? It's Big Bang. It's something that we know, knowing the group really well. And they're doing a variety show, something else that me and PD are very, very familiar with at this point, watching a lot of variety shows and stuff like that. So I think the easy way to do this is to kind of go with what we expected from a Big Bang casted variety show.
Yeah. I think what we expected was shenanigans. I think.
Yeah. Because, so, Big Bang has been going for 10 plus years, right? And they've kind of gone through all the phases of being a boy group in Korea, right? So they've done the being on every variety show, being on every talk show, being just kind of in those processes, especially Daesung, Delight. Like, he starred in variety shows in the past. He's kind of very well known in the variety show circle. So you kind of have this understanding that they're going to know what they're doing, right? Yeah. But at the same time, Big Bang is kind of too cool for itself at this point, right?
Especially and some members.
Anytime you see them on TV, it's kind of like, you know, like they're just like, oh yeah, we did do that some time ago. Haha, that's fun.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. And they're so chill, right? So it's hard to get them out of their element because they're so chill. Like they're just fucking chill.
Yeah. I think my expectations were I didn't know what to expect. To be honest, I just expected there to be some activities. I expected to at least have a little bit of I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this shit kind of like feeling to this. Even if like as a joke. But I didn't know what to expect, especially like the with the idea that they were gonna be doing the camping thing. I expected references to family outing and stuff like that, obviously, but
like,
but I didn't know exactly.
The start of it was kind of silly. But my expectation was it was going to be silly. It was going to be silly. Pretty much Delight and probably Seungri was going to carry the show. Like they were kind of be the personalities of the show because they're the ones who kind of come out of their shell more comedic or kind of more funny and like to do those kind of things. Whereas the rest of them are a little bit more chill, kind of stuff.
But what was funny is like right off the bat, Seungri kind of took over and decided he was the MC. It's like all of a sudden, I just decided he was the MC, and they even like joke about it. It's like, but who put you in charge? And he just started like introducing every segment and everything, and it was hilarious.
I mean, I like that though, right? Like him being the MC was kind of cool because I think he fit that role rather well. He has the personality for that, right? I figured it was gonna be him or it was gonna be Dae-sun. Like between the two of them, one of those two were gonna be the MC because they have the most experience with the variety show stuff, right? Like, but I also thought I didn't think it was gonna be. So this is kind of getting into what we got, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be as clustered as it was. Yeah. Like, it was just more. It was just more weird than anything else because Top is just gonna sit there and chill.
Yeah, sit there with sunglasses.
G-Drag is just gonna laugh the whole time.
Yeah,
right. Like that's all he's gonna do is just laugh and the whole time, and just be like, okay, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Like, and then Taeyong is just gonna be Taeyong, and
he's just sit there and smile.
Yeah, sit there and smile and look at the camera. Like, so, but even with that, it was still fun, right? It was still a pretty enjoyable thing to watch, especially in that first episode. So they tried to do the very variety show thing in the first episode, which if you ever watched a variety show, the first episodes are always kind of odd, right? Because everybody has to get used to the process.
Here's the rundown of every beginning episode of every variety show. Exterior, television studio. Caption: Who is starring? Who are we? Who will we meet on this beautiful day? Enter first cast member. Oh, is nobody here yet? Am I the first? Oh, this is so awkward. I wonder who's going to be on this variety show that I was specifically auditioned for and casted and probably rehearsed with all the members of. Wonder who's going to join me on this show. Oh, this is going to be exciting. The caption is probably enter second member. It's like, oh, hello. It's usually like maybe the biggest age gap usually, so they do all those jokes, and then so on and so forth. Each member comes in, they introduce them, they make the go-to jokes, and then they go, all right, well, what's this show? And then they, the moment interrupted by the PD, and then you get the premise of the show. There you go. That's every variety show begins exactly the same way.
In a nutshell. So, but see, this was different, right? Because we all know who Big Bang is. Big Bang all knows who Big Bang is. But even though they kind of did that, it worked, right? Because Seungri shows up first, and he's like there, and he's all kitted out in what the whole concept is. Yeah. And then as everyone else shows up, they're less kitted out in what the concept is. And he's like,
all laughing
what the fuck are you doing? Like, come on. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and it's so good. It's so great. And I love that shit. Like, and it just made me fucking laugh. Like, and I just, you know what? I love seeing D-Light in variety shows. And it is such his bread and butter. And I wish he got to do it more.
Yeah.
Like, he needs his own variety show. Just
he needs his
with
own,
him and a cast of characters.
He needs his own, or he needs to maybe be a regular of something like either. I don't get a chance to see it much, but like something like 3 meals a day, or I wouldn't say 2 days 1 night, just because it's got such a it's already a fixed show that doesn't need any more members. But sure, he would make a great guest. But yeah, like maybe even something like Law of the Jungle, which is
I still need to watch that.
Yeah, I need to watch
that. Things that I need to watch. I need to watch Law of the Jungle.
So I've seen some clips of Hani specifically that are particularly hilarious. I want to see her run, and I want to see Sejong's run. I know it's going to involve her lifting things and like lifting heavy things, and it's going to be awesome because she's like the strong woman. She's She-Hulk. But yeah, he could shine really well, especially on outdoor variety shows, especially when it's a very active show that involves a lot of like sight gags and silliness, being like embarrassing, silly sight gag stuff, which he works really well. Like all the stuff that he did with the Dumb and Dumber brothers, with him and Jae-suk worked really well because of that. But yeah, he could shine really well.
Yeah. So you kind of get that initial, so in that first episode, and it's a little bit of spoilers, but it's a variety show, so you got to get over it. In that first kind of initial thing, you get that first prank thing that comes with the punishment and the now you have to do this thing, which was very lackluster, but it was also very funny of like who shows up to a thing that is scheduled on time and late.
Okay.
And like that was I just thought that was so silly, and I love that like it got like really progressively late. Like,
yeah.
That people were like, what the fuck? Like they were supposed to be here at this time. But the part I love about it, the part I loved about that whole bit is G Dragon's explanation of why he shows up late to that.
Yeah.
It is the greatest explanation ever. And he goes, it's a small space. Like, and we all had to be there. So I figured I'd show up late. That way, by then, people are getting done. And then when I show up, I can sit down, I get done. I don't have to wait. Nobody has to wait on me. Nobody has to wait on anyone else. We don't have to worry about working in that tight space. It's great. I'm a genius. Like,
it's like the greatest like little line of bullshit. That's like, if you listen to him, it's like, but sure, yeah, I guess. Like,
yeah,
I guess.
Like, I know you bullshitting me because I can see it in your face, but goddamn, that's good. Like,
oh my god,
I don't know how to fight this. Like,
but it works so well. Yeah, and their dynamic works really well, and like how they work that, and like it eventually. So I believe you only saw the first episode. I've seen a few episodes. Actually, I've probably seen the whole thing. But we're talking about the first couple episodes. Like how that pays off is in them is him having to go to the grocery store, and he assigns Sungri to be his partner, and then that's a whole fun journey all of its own, because it's all like, a G Dragon just finding what he needs, like finding all the food because he's the cook, like he's finding all the food, doing his serious stuff, and like Sungri just being his ridiculous self. And the best part is that the cashier ends up being a VIP, being a fan. And she's like all like flustered, like she's like doing thing, and like at some point she accidentally turns off the cash register, like everything like goes blank. It's like, oh no, I turned it off. Oh, manager, he's calling the manager over trying to get it fixed. It's like, oh, let's go over to the other register, and then they like do all the thing, and like slowly but surely it's like. And like she shows off her phone that she has G Dragon on her phone. It's background. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's funny. It's like they have her like in Korean. They have her. They're talking obviously in Korean, obviously the show, but they're talking to her and say, "Oh, send a message to the fans out there, to your fellow fans, to fellow VIPs out there." And she goes in English, says, "Big Bang is my everything." And then they just lose it laughing. The two of them, like, yeah, Big Bang is my everything. It's a hilarious moment. It's such a great dynamic, and like just a random moment with a fan, which is amazing.
No, it's good. Like I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I have been. Right, I thought it was going to kind of be kind of kitschy and silly, but then realizing it's produced by people who produce Korean variety shows, it just happens to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Isn't bad. The only thing that's weird is the length of the episodes aren't consistent.
Yeah. I think they just kind of like, all right, this is about this, and they cut it this way. Mm-hmm. But then, like, a couple of things do carry over from one episode to the other, so it's like it almost feels like going forward. Like, there's one that's like half of it is one thing, then the other half is like the beginning of the thing that is the entire next episode. So it's almost like feels like they just couldn't figure out how to cut these things, which I think which by the way, I think this is because they do reference the DVD. So I get the feeling that this may be a part of part of something that is supposed to just be in a package on the DVDs and like our 10th anniversary.
Yeah,
and maybe not cut up into episodes, but I don't know. It's weird because it
kind of was something that was enough of a product that you could put it out, by itself and not just sell it in the closed environment of the DVD.
Yeah,
which kind of makes sense, right? Like how it could almost be interstitial to other things going on if you had a DVD that has all this other content on it, and then in between other things, you're getting this Big Bang variety show along with that. Like I could see how that flows, but then looking at it in just episodic content of a variety show in itself, it's really, really, really like shortcut in some places. Like there are episodes that are 20 minutes, there's episodes that are 11 minutes, there's episodes that are 8 minutes, so it just has this kind of really weird cut to it. So if you're kind of more used to the consistent timing of a variety show, you're not going to get that here.
Yeah, it's a lot,
but I don't think there's any content missed in that, even though I'm saying that, right? I don't think there's anything lost in the way that it's kind of cut. Because you still generally get a pretty consistent timing. Like there's only, I think the last one is
like super long,
less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, the last one, which is more like an epilogue, where the last one being kind of a super long because it's involved and it's a little bit more breathed out about what it's about, and then the last one's just kind of like a little rejoinder, kind of like a little thank you epilogue thing. I kind of know what's coming. I will say, obviously, because I did see the rest of the episodes, and we'll talk about once we've both seen it. We'll talk about like what our thoughts are at the end. But what are your what do you expect from it once you finish it out? What are you expecting for the rest of the episodes?
I'm just kind of expecting basic ass variety content, right? Like it's not going to be super special in its content, in its form, right? Because this is a kind of a one shot, right? There's not going to be a season 2. There's not going to be a continuation of this, most likely, or at least not for a while, right? And that being, I don't mind that, but I know a lot of the content of it, they're going to try to hit a lot of the tropes of variety shows as they can, and that's fine because I'm in it for the personality, right? These are all personalities I'm already invested in. These aren't personalities that you have to get me invested in. So I feel like I can watch it for that and that alone, is the interactions between the members of Big Bang. Because I'm not really here for the variety of it, right? Because it's not really gonna be that, right? There are gonna be those bits, there are gonna be those things, but kind of what I'm expecting is just to kind of see the guys from Big Bang have fun in this environment.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of what I was expecting before I had like dove into the rest of the episodes, which was that it was gonna live and die by how much of the personalities of Big Bang we get to experience, or get to feel, and get to live with, which I was looking forward to back then. It's always fun because they have such good personalities. I think even for whatever they are, they're kind of a little bit too cool for school. And they got that, and musically they do kind of sometimes try to be either super pretentious artists or try hard rappers. Their actual personalities for what they are, at least the ones that they show to us, are really fun to kind of experience. And And yeah,
I mean,
there
to
are
me, even in the first episode, right? There's a really great moment of G Dragon getting picked to go buy the groceries, right?
yeah.
And then you have D-Light, who understands the variety format, and he's like, "Do we have to use our own money?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, like, yeah." And he's like, "Aha!" Like, and then Sungry's already like, "Oh shit!" And he starts singing G Dragon's song, like, "I got the like,
Black,
like,
black."
Stop.
With the car,
Stop.
black.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, that black card though. Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, yo, that black card though.
Yeah.
You got that black card though. You said so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all like, "Oh yeah, yeah, because you got the money. Great. So that's good that you got that. Yeah, go pay for that." Like,
oh my god. Yeah. It's so much fun.
yeah.
Yeah, Cass.
But yeah, so I'm excited as well. Like, I like shit like this. Like, me and you really, really, really love a good, chill, well-produced variety show, and it has these moments in this. It seems fine. It doesn't seem rushed. It seems like they kind of took their time with it, which is something we always talk about with variety shows. Is it always sucks when it feels rushed, which is why both of us kind of stopped watching Running Man, because we just got to this point where every episode just felt like super rushed, so you didn't really get content. You just got like the bullet points of content. Right? You never got in between the lines of those things. And that is always kind of the hard part in variety shows. Like, as they get popular, the cast gets popular, and you kind of lose that sense of the show that made it fun. But this kind of thing being a one shot, I think is rather interesting. And it with it already having personalities that are, one, used to each other, and two, that you already know, I think just makes it kind of a cool, like, thing, you know? Like, and you can't, there are other variety shows where that happens too, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you already are familiar with the scene, you kind of know the characters of variety shows, and people are familiar with the people who are in that scene as well. But I think this is different because these guys have been working together specifically for 10 years and have come up together and lived together and been around each other for this for a good majority of that time. So you kind of get just different interactions, right? Like, and it just makes for something different. Right, because one, they can call each other on each other's bullshit, which they do sometimes, and they just know each other really well. So that's what you kind of want in variety, right? Which is why it always tends to get better later than it does in the early seasons of variety. Is once everybody knows each other, once everybody can call each other on their bullshit and all that kind of stuff. That's what makes variety really fun.
Yeah.
When the personalities mix. So this is a really good show. I'm expecting to be happy with it at the end. I'm not expecting amazement from it, but I'm damn sure going to enjoy my time with it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to discussing kind of like the rest of it once we convene again for the kind of the post-mortem, which we should do, which we'll probably do soon, probably like next week or something, barring disaster.
Because it's only a couple episodes. It's not like a long season of content. So we'll get this done. We'll get it wrapped out, and then we'll actually legitimately, once we wrap up this discussion of this show, we will pick another show, and then we will do the same. More consistent content.
I have a choice, and we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next
curiosity.
time.
Yes.
So that's been Hallyujuku Talks. Like I said, super short, just talking about something that we enjoy in depth, a little more in depthly than we do on our regular Hallyujuku episodes. So you'll get this, and then in a couple of days, you'll get another Hallyujuku episode featuring myself and PD Rave, where we do the things that we normally do, talk about music, talk about all the things going on in Korean entertainment and East Asian pop culture. So definitely look forward to that. Look forward to hearing from us again.
We're going to be talking about Red Velvet.
Oh, we're going to be talking about Red Velvet, and just the slew of songs that has come out over the past 2 weeks. There's just been like track after track over the past couple weeks that have just constantly been getting dropped. Yeah. So there will be a lot of music for us to parse through, and hopefully we won't bog you down with like 50 songs in the next episode. But there's a lot of stuff for us to talk about. So, and that's always great. That's always what we want. It just sucks when it's the barren time.
Yes,
we're like, did we do this song? Yeah, no, we did that song specifically last week. And we're like, shh. It's the only thing that's come out in a month. Right?
Sometimes we have to stash songs in our cheeks, just like to stave off the starvation in the winter.
Yeah, but luckily it's been a good 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been a good 2 weeks of releases. So we'll have some stuff to talk about in pretty much. In the weekend. So look forward to that. Look forward to the news that we bring you on our normal Hallyujuku episode. Thank you for listening to this Hallyujuku Talks. Thank you for joining us if you joined us live. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.